how long can the devotion be outside of yourself? How long can you continue to acquire accolades outside of yourself and then still feel like that is any true reflection of the value of you as a person? You know, the rise of AI over the past few years and like the big bang that it's at right now, this is also like Uranus in Gemini energy, because Gemini is communication. It's how we connect, how we commune, and also social media and technology. But take the word therapy out of it and just replace it with safety.
Yeah.
Like, I just need a place where I can feel I'm in full safety and I can like unpack and I can like disrobe the burdens of the world that I've been carrying and just like free myself for a little bit. That's being projected to us because that is like the easiest and darkest reality to create. Because all we have to do is just surrender and relinquish our humanity to technology and just go gray. Remove all of our color and our life and our spirit and our inspiration and just go gray and let technology take the lead. And I feel like that's what the Solarpunk movement is about. So it's like we have two options: to like sell out our humanity and regress into a more primordial species, or we can evolve with it and evolve into something greater, where it's like Earth is a balance of nature's infinite intelligence as well as, you know, the machinery intelligence as well. There needs to be a reinstatement of safety, because whether it's discussed or not, Earth hasn't felt safe in a very long time. At a core foundational level, Earth has not felt safe in a very long time. And our nervous systems don't forget that. They adapt to it. Yeah, like Harry's cousin. Like, what? 36? You were 37 last year. So, honey, we'll get you 2 more. Don't worry. It's like, what? Greenland? I need other, like, you know? It's just like, bro, come on. But it's funny because, you know, Trump is a Gemini, like bringing in the astrological aspects on everything. Trump is a Gemini, and with Uranus being in Gemini, Uranus is like the planet of like change, sudden and unexpected change, like literally expect the unexpected. And Gemini energy is already so like scattered and curious and really doesn't know what their next move is going to be to begin with. So it's like seeing this on a global or national scale, it's like very in alignment with what's happening in the, you know, in the cosmos right now, because that's just going to be a reflection of what is happening on Earth. And, you know, we have these big cosmic figures playing out a story in the sky, and then we have these big figures playing out a story on the world stage. It's just like it's always going to be this mirrored story that we see, right? And even with, you know, the rise of AI over the past few years and like the big bang that it's at right now, this is also like Uranus in Gemini energy, because Gemini is communication. It's how we connect, how we commune, and also like social media and technology. So we see that with this transit as well. So it's like the Trump to AI, you know, wasn't Elon Musk like there when he was sworn in or something? Yeah. Like, it's just like, what is your role in the US government, right? Which now we have plenty to speculate on what that is now. But that parallel of AI and power kind of coming together in this wild, unexpected way that 5 years ago we couldn't even conceive. That's very Uranus and Gemini. Unexpected, quick, fast energy, not knowing what the next move is. It's like we're seeing that, you know, on those larger stages. but we're seeing it also in day-to-day life. And something that I was reflecting on is the more common use of AI for simple human tasks or for simple human engagements, like the ability to just articulate yourself on something that you're passionate about or something that you want to share in the world. Like, I have no problem with AI as a tool for like efficiency or optimization of like systems or trying to bring more organization into your life, because again, we're not machines. So it's like humanity can be a little chaotic, which is fine. But if you want to optimize something, sure, like use AI. Like, things are going to change. Like, 10, 15 years ago, we were up in arms about having to use a chip on our credit cards. So it's like things evolve, things change. That's okay. But I think it's the abuse of those energies that can be problematic. I also think it's the reduction of our humanity is what makes AI problematic in certain regards, because using it as a tool or as a companion and furthering your human experience is one thing, versus using it as a supplement or a replacement to your human experience. Like, even in terms of like flow, like getting into a flow state and just sharing a channel or sharing a vision or sharing some creative thing that's coming through you, and instead putting it into chat or an AI system and being like, give me a script about nervous system regulation. And it's just like, right, you realize like a nervous system is kind of like a human embodiment thing. And it's like, yeah, maybe if you're trying to structure like maybe a program or something, but it's like the human experience, the human spirit, the human soul can't be taken out of things that are meant to heal humans or connect humans. And more I see people within the wellness spaces. Like, I come from the health and wellness and spirituality world, and more I'm seeing creators known to me and unknown to me that are clearly just putting in similar scripts into some sort of language learning model, AI, chat GPT, whatever, and are just spitting out the same rhetoric, the same messages over and over. And I saw someone talking about like his wife is a publisher, like she publishes books, or she's an editor rather, and people are like AI blinds, they're like AI deaf. They're like putting their manuscripts or like having AI write their manuscripts, and they're not even realizing that it doesn't sound human, or it doesn't sound natural, or it's not, or there's like she's reading 50 different manuscripts that all have the same wording or the same cadence or the same whatever. And it's like AI in the arts, I feel like that's just such a dangerous space for it to be in, or AI in the healing space. I feel like that's a dangerous space for it to be in,
because if AI is put into everyone's work, like you said, completely supplementing and not just using it as a tool, then will we ever be able to do anything anymore for ourselves? Will we ever be able to think for ourselves and share very authentic human experiences and human knowledge that can't be put into ones and zeros?
Right. As you're saying that, like, I'm just getting like the visual, and it's like we were kids when we saw this, and it was just like an animation, it was just a movie. But every now and then I think back to the movie WALL-E, where it was just like these big giant oversized humans like in these chairs just pushing buttons on their hand. Food gets delivered to them, they barely have to get up, feed themselves, do anything. It's just like they're just living on this conveyor belt life. And obviously as kids we couldn't conceptualize how dystopian that was. It was just a film, it was just a movie. But to be in a place where we're basically living in that reality, it's heavy.
Yeah, I was just thinking, but like now we're actually like living it.
Yeah. And again, I'm not anti-technology. I'm not anti-AI, but I think everything has its place. I think anything in extremes is the downfall of humanity. It's like we have to keep the human spirit alive. We have to keep the human spirit active and engaged and connected and inspired. So it's like if you have an inspired idea, and the first thing that you do, instead of like sitting with that idea and letting it fill you and letting it elevate you and inspire you into action, the moment that you have an idea, you're immediately running into a system that can organize it for you. It like takes out the soul's journey. It takes out the human evolution of it all. Because no matter what, we're going to evolve. Whether we evolve with technology and then we just descend into a less intelligent species because we allow our intelligence to be outsourced. Or...
That's a really good way to put it.
Right. Or if we go more the Solarpunk route, which I am 1,000% pro Solarpunk. I'm happy that there's verbiage for it now because I've always felt this way as a little Aquarius moon child. I'm just like, I think there should be a balance and an integration of things because I'm grateful that I have a phone and I'm grateful that I have technology and I'm grateful I have hot water and I'm grateful that I have an oven and I'm grateful that there are vehicles, many types of transportation. But at the same time, I am the same substances of the earth. So it's like I can't discredit my natural state of being.
Yeah, all of that is in you.
But also through the evolution of humanity, we have these tools, these technologies to support us. So there should be a place where they can live in balance, where they can live in harmony. And I feel like that's what the Solarpunk movement is about. So it's like we have two options: to like sell out our humanity and regress into a more primordial species, or we can evolve with it and evolve into something greater, where it's like Earth is a balance of nature's infinite intelligence as well as the machinery intelligence as well. Because we have plenty of examples of a cyberpunk technology, whether it's the Matrix, whether it's put on any sci-fi movie, there's an undertone of dystopian cyberpunk society, right? But that's being projected to us because that is like the easiest and darkest reality to create, because all we have to do is just surrender and relinquish our humanity to technology and just go gray. Remove all of our color and our life and our spirit and our inspiration and just go gray and let technology take the lead. But it's like, I don't believe technology is a bad thing, but I believe that when we allow it to take the place for our humanity, that's when everything gets distorted, But again, with us going through the transit of Uranus being in Gemini, this is the time that change is going to really start to show itself in our day-to-day lives. We are literally at the crossroad where we get to decide, like, do we go left or do we go right? Do we go cyberpunk or do we go solarpunk? Because we have the technology, we have the awareness, people are gaining the knowledge of this, but it's a decision of what we decide to do with the power that we have now.
When you were talking about the crossroads that we're at and we can go this route or this route, I haven't heard as much talk about that deadline of 2030. The world needs to come together to make sure we don't cross this threshold, or else like that's it. There's really,
right,
it's incredibly difficult to, there is
kind
like
of fallen into the abyss a bit,
at that point. And over the decade we've seen less and less talk of that, especially as it's like, oh, well, we've already given up our ability to choose and have that choice as we've moved into this territory where we are deciding, okay, we're going to choose data centers and all the energy that it's going to take to run these and build these up, all the land we have to take over and destroy in order to create this system that's going to obviously push us over that threshold, maybe even quicker.
Right.
And it's like us choosing a demise rather than figuring out a way to be more on that Solarpunk route.
Yeah, I mean, we have every foundational tool to create whatever we want on this planet. Like, at this point, there's not very much that we haven't touched or created. But the thing is, we're still so primal in our creations.
Yeah.
We want to make things go boom, and we want to make things go bang, and we want to, when it's just like, or we could just simplify and like take a look out of nature's book, because around us is this perfectly designed system, perfectly designed ecosystem. I always use the example of COVID, and I remember, like, I was abroad, but I remember even in, like, connecting with friends and family in the States who were quarantined. So it's like they weren't outside driving vehicles as much. They weren't outside just being destructive, essentially. And nature started to regenerate itself, even within that small window of time. There were species that were returning that hadn't been seen in decades. Like, the earth, she has a perfect design, and she's going to live by it with or without humanity. But it's like the push against nature and the push against natural law that we can see around us every day is our demise, because we are nature. So the same way that we treat the earth is the way that we treat ourselves. And like you were saying, coming to that crossroad of we're gonna have to choose our demise or something better for ourselves, that is only gonna happen. It's not gonna happen through the mind. It's not gonna happen through everyone saying let's take a vote and choose our demise or something better for ourselves. The only way that's gonna happen is when we start to value life again. When we start to value life again. When we start to value the world around us. When we start to value our own bodies. When we start to value ourselves. Because when you value something, when you care about something, you are going to do everything in your power to make sure it survives. And beyond survive, you're going to do everything in your power to make sure it has everything that it needs.
And the issue I see is that it feels like the thing that we have chosen to value is just complete productivity, efficiency at all costs. Efficiency.
We're self-conditioned machines at this point. It's like you spark the match on one tree, and then the trees start to connect and they all light themselves on fire. You didn't light every tree on fire, you lit one tree. And because it was connected to other trees, wildfire. Humans are the same way. Like, one of my favorite authors, like I've shared with you, Don Miguel Ruiz, the author of The Four Agreements, author of Mastery of Love. He talks about, up until like 3 years old, we're pure, we're creative, we're pure life force energy, right? And then those who came before us start to condition us with their disease of, basically being a matrix corporate entity, essentially. And it's like, that's the same thing as like that wildfire spreading, where it's like, you don't come into the world conditioned. You don't come into the world thinking about numbers and productivity and 401ks and savings and groceries and insurance. Those aren't even conceivable ideas to a soul entering the planet. These are all conditioned things. So it's like we self-condition ourselves. We self-police ourselves. So this is why it's like, again, it's bringing back a value and a reverence for life itself and what life is. Not these false systems that we've created, but remembering the natural systems that already exist in the world. And humans are intelligent, so we are going to create systems of hierarchy that make sense for us. But when we value our life, these systems won't be to our demise. We won't be working 80 hours a week until we have a heart attack and pass out at work, and the boss steps over you and says, we're going to keep working today. Unfortunately, Jim did pass away, but we're going to continue the work day. A real story that I saw on Instagram, by the way, but that's besides the point. So we're not going to create systems that are to our demise. We're going to create systems that connect us deeper to ourselves, that connect us deeper to humanity, that connect us deeper to the world around us. And again, once we get back into valuing life and not creating destructive hierarchical systems, there will be less hierarchy even amongst people, because at the end of the day, we're all human beings. For the most part, that's another conversation. We're all human beings, so we should value the life of the human, right? Not you're from this continent with this complexion and you should be treated this way, or you're on this scale of the totem pole, right? So it's like it's all connected. It's all connected. In the way we treat the world is the way we treat our bodies, is the way we treat the human next to us, is the way we treat everything. So again, it's like the revaluing of life. And bringing it back to AI, like AI is here and we can value AI to a degree and to a role, right? We can appreciate it in a role that it serves, but it can't take the role of the human experience, Again, I feel like connecting it again to this like Uranus energy, it's like sudden and unexpected change. We are in the midst of sudden and unexpected change where it could go this way or it could go that way. We're at the crossroads. Where Gemini is the twins. It's like it could go left or it could go right. We have choice and we have
one day is
duality,
this, the next day.
Right? But we have choice above all, and everything is energy. So at its core, everything is neutral. It's neither positive or negative, but it's just like the fuel and the attention and the weight that we put on it. Because Uranus can also be connected to like electricity or lightning, because that's like sudden and unexpected sparks, like very unpredictable energy, right? And I don't think anyone would necessarily categorize lightning as a positive or a negative thing. It just is, right? However, lightning could strike someone dead. Lightning could end a life. But also, lightning and electricity can be used to bring a life back. You can use the shock pads and like use that bolt, use that unexpected jolt of pure lightning and electricity to revive someone, or it can be used to degrade someone. So it's like we're again at that point where it's like we have this pure buzz of electricity all around us, but what are we going to channel it into? Are we going to channel it into something that will be powerful and destructive? Or are we going to channel it into something that will be powerful and resuscitate us back to our humanity?
Right.
So again, it's like people are weary. Humanity is weary because we've experienced so much. We've experienced so much collective trauma. And it's hard to feel like you have a choice when every day you feel like you're fighting for your life, regardless of where you are on that spectrum, whether you're in poverty, whether you're doing well, but it's more emotional, whether it's somatic, whether it's whatever it is. Like, we're all trying to find a healthy balance within ourselves.
Survival
right?
mode is a point of pride for some people. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm doing 3 jobs. And
Yeah, I'm
I gotta...
working 3 jobs. I'm in school again. I'm doing this. I'm on my 5th degree, and it's just like there's no shade to that at all. That's beautiful. Any devotion to accomplishing something is beautiful,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
But how long can the devotion be outside of yourself? how long can you continue to acquire accolades outside of yourself and then still feel like that is any true reflection of the value of you as a person? The true value of you as a person is your internal world. It's your character. It's how you show up for yourself. It's how you show up for your community. It's how you contribute to this world, like the old saying, like, it's how you leave things better than you found them. And I'm not saying that you're not a superhero with 5 degrees, but is the 5th degree helping you to leave the world better than you found it?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that simply something to satisfy your own ego or to satisfy your own sense of security in the world?
Yeah.
Like, is it truly healing or nourishing the world around you and all the illness that we see around us?
I think that should be more of a focus, and that should be more of a goal in general. It doesn't have to be a primary driver for people, but I think there should be some level of what am I actually doing to contribute to more positivity and more growth and development, not like outside of myself too.
And in that regard, I think that's why, of course, I want my neurosurgeon to be a trained and sufficient neurosurgeon. I'm not saying that these fields and these professions don't hold value. They do, of course. But if you can, again, outsource your value into the world, into some system or some made up thing, so much so that you don't look around your community and you don't look around your immediate world and environment and see issues and then seek to fix them in a real world way, then it's all pointless. Because if you get, if you go and get like a PhD level of something and then you just have that, but you're not applying that in a way that is conducive to reshaping and rebuilding a healthy world, then what is the true value in it? And
I will say that there are a lot of people who do stand up and they take a stance, they try to make a change, and we see what happens to them. Every single time. There was a doctor recently who decided that they weren't going, I forget the exact context, but basically she just decided that she wasn't going to do this thing just because the system was like, you have to do this, or this is how it's done, and she ended up getting blackballed. She ended up getting blackballed for it, and that happens quite often for people, or sometimes however you want to see it. Sometimes it's worse. Something worse happens to them as well because they do stand up and they take that stand.
They're the outlier.
And they're the outlier, and that happens because they know how important it is. They know
to stand up. And that's really it. That's exactly what I was thinking as you were saying that. Back to like the forest and the tree analogy. It's like, of course, there are people who stand up and speak out, and in one way or another, their flame is put out. Okay, the minute they try to do that. But it's like, of course that's going to happen, because if there's one tree lit up every 20 miles, that's not going to catch in the same way, per se. If they're spaced out, it's an isolated tree, it's going to burn on its own. Maybe there's a few trees around that go down with it. But it's like, if the whole forest stands up and like catches fire, it's like, that's what makes change. That's where radical change is born. But if it's like they continue to be single outliers who stand up for change, while the other 99% get back on the machine and continue to ride it, then no, there will be no significant change. But then again, this is why valuing your life is so important, and valuing life itself is so important, because that'll spark you awake to say, hey, no. And it's like there will be a collective, we're not all fighting for the same thing on Earth. We're not all seeking the same thing on Earth, but we are seeking a healthy human experience at the core, at its foundation. And wherever you fall on that scale, when you value life, you are going to stand up in whatever way is right for you. You know, if you are a scientist or a doctor, you're going to stand up in that field. If you are a nurse, you're going to stand up in that field, right? If you are a construction worker, you're going to stand up in that field. If you are a mother or a father, you're going to stand up in that field and do what is right and do what is valuing life instead of destructive to life.
Yeah,
and subscribing to systems that only destroy you. So, I mean, I know it seems like all these things aren't connected. We're talking about Trump, we're talking about AI, we're talking about valuing life, we're talking about systems and structures, but it all really is, because at the end of the day, it all comes down to choice. And as the world is getting riled up about all the injustice that is on Front Street, Pluto's in Aquarius, like it's being exposed. The collective underbelly is being exposed right now. We all get to see everything that's been swept under the rug and is floating around in the collective psyche, where it's all transparent right now. So with this spark, again, with this electricity that is buzzing through the collective, this is the time where we make a choice what we do with that energy. Do we just let it continue to buzz and buzz and buzz until it peters out and we don't care anymore and we're off to the next thing, ushering us into the next phase of imprisonment on Earth? Or do we use that buzz, that electricity, to actually solidify the change that we want to see on this planet? Use that momentum to move us into how we want to experience Earth, how we want to live a human experience. But again, that takes courage, and that takes knowing yourself, and that takes valuing the life that you have. And it's not going to be easy. A lot of people, they don't value themselves, and it's like, it's okay if you're at that point, but just little by little, start to understand what that means. Educate yourself, peel back the layers, move through the uncomfortability of it all, because it's going to be uncomfortable. You're going to have to look at stuff that you haven't dared look at, or you didn't even know to look at. But if you're even hearing messages like this, if you're even in the realm of gravitating towards things like this, there's something inside of you that's ready to go deeper, that's ready to reorganize the way you do life. So
I think that's really the hardest part for most people, is that uncomfortability. I think it's a combination of the uncomfortability and the unknown. And sometimes maybe the biggest hang up isn't necessarily the how to get there, but it's the what is on the other side. I can't see that alternate future.
Right.
For real. It's like I can only really see what I've always seen, what I've been told. I can imagine the future for myself in the context of this system that we already have. I can't really see what I know. This is,
it's like the BS. Devil you know or the devil you don't know.
Yeah.
So to speak.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like the unknown is a huge pause for people. It prevents them from going where they know they should go, doing what they know they should do, leaving the job, the country, the relationship, the whatever, because the unhealthy known is a false safety, but it feels safer than the absolute unknown, right? And going back to what we were saying earlier about Gemini being like connection and communication and this and that, as a human being, Do you feel safer going, or going back to the forest again, going into a dark forest by yourself, alone, or still having to go into a dark forest but having one or two other people holding your hand?
Right.
You're still walking into the same unknown, but there's safety in having support. There's safety in having community, even if you're all walking in the unknown together. So if you feel pulled to experience something else in life, if you feel pulled that you know things aren't right, even if you can't name it yet, find community. Find people who are just as in the dark as you are and walk together. Figure it out together. Because, you know, when you're in the dark long enough, your senses adapt. So it's like someone around you, they may be able to sense something, then you may be able to sense something, and you're guiding each other forward through the dark until you start to see more, you start to see clarity, or the sun comes up. So community and having connection is not just for the social aspect of humanity, it's genuinely how we help and guide each other through the unknown. So the only way we're going to get to the other side, the only way we're going to get into a Solarpunk reality, the only way we're going to value life again is when we start to connect and when we start to commune again, when we sit around the fire together and we tell our stories and we show our battle wounds to each other. It doesn't have to be pretty, but it has to be real and it has to be vulnerable. So, you know, when you want to tell ChatGPT about this toxic shit that just happened at work or this relationship issue that you're going through, you may not have that person yet that feels as safe as ChatGPT does, but challenge yourself to make connections where you can tell those vulnerabilities to another person, because then they will share their vulnerabilities with you, and that's how you recreate trust. That's how you build community.
Yeah, it's just really hard for a lot of people to be vulnerable, especially when so much of the system, society, it is so much based on like individualism and kind of getting it on your own. Like we just crossed this threshold where it feels like therapy has become way more normalized and more like openly talked about and discussed, where before, I feel like prior to even the 2010s, last decade, it was very much like almost a joke. Like hush, and most of like our parents' generation, even they still are still like very reluctant to engage in it or to really see it as like a real thing, you know, like I don't need therapy type of mindset sort of thing. And so, but take the word therapy out of it and just replace it with safety. Yeah. Like I just need a place where I can feel I'm in full safety and I can like unpack and I can like disrobe the burdens of the world that I've been carrying and just like free myself for a little bit. Yeah. Whether that's therapy, whether that is, you know, in whatever spiritual practice that you follow or that regard, whether that's just in having community and tribe. It's like there needs to be a reinstatement of safety, because whether it's discussed or not, Earth hasn't felt safe in a very long time. At a core foundational level, Earth has not felt safe in a very long time. And our nervous systems don't forget that. They adapt to it. I was just gonna say that there's a lot of stored trauma that a lot of people have. Yeah. It goes unaddressed. Yeah. And then, you know, there's the whole fight, flight, freeze, fawn experience, and we all react to that differently. Some people rage, they want to fight, you know. Some people flee, they want to isolate and not connect and not have community, you know, and so on and so forth. So it's like, it's okay, again, to show our wounds to each other. And that doesn't mean you just go out showing your wounds to any unsafe person in the world. Of course, we're using our discernment and connecting with people that have the capacity to
to hold that for us. But again, it's like, it's that spark. Once you do it, it'll be reciprocated. It's like in middle school, if you're at a dance or something, and then finally a few kids go out and start dancing, then eventually the whole auditorium is dancing now. But it's like, if it wasn't those first 1, 2, 3, 4 courageous kids who got out there first and started being vulnerable with each other, everyone would be a wallflower all night long. Just because we're considered adults now doesn't mean we don't still have that inner child in us that is still like, I mean, I'll do it if you do it. We're all still little souls figuring out Earth, right, together. We're still kids in the grand scheme of like the cosmic timeline. So, you know, again, not taking ourselves so seriously, and this is going to be a constant reminder. It's not like you turn it back on and then that's what it is. Like, even with the experience and just life wisdom that I've acquired myself, I still find myself falling back into these habits of whether it's like isolation or turning down my whimsy. And it's just like, sometimes I need to resuscitate it as well. I need to spark it back to life. I need to be that kid in the middle of the middle school dance again, right? So it's okay if your light gets dimmed, so to speak, but you know, you can reignite it, and you can connect with people who can help you do that as well. It's truly what we all want, you know. In one way or another, what we want is to be alive and feel alive and be connected.
Yeah.
You know, and that looks different for everyone, but at the core, that is a foundational human experience we all wish to have. So all in all, the point of this is, don't let the bastards grind you down. Don't let the bastards grind you down in whatever form that they try to take, you know, whether it's digitally, technology, politically, financially, whatever. Don't let the bastards grind you down. Shout out Handmaid's Tale. But in reality, keep your humanity alive. Keep your human spark alive. Keep your creativity alive. Keep yourself alive, and find new value in yourself every day. Find new value in this world every day. You know, I feel like it's very cliche, but like, don't forget to smell the roses. Like, wow, you can smell the roses. Look at that butterfly. It just went through an impossible metamorphosis, an impossible transformation. It was in one form, it completely disintegrated itself, and it took on an entirely new form. Who said we can't do the same thing? This is our ability to go through our metamorphosis as humanity. This is our time. This is our time, and we have all the cosmic support we need, but it's up to us again to make the choice.
Going back to looking at your surroundings and just like even acknowledging like, oh, the butterfly, that I can even like get up and like, you know, stretch and walk, and just not taking that stuff for granted, because those little things, those really, it's so easy to overlook that stuff in your day-to-day, as in your hustle and bustle, as you're going about everything. And there are so many people who will, like, even I haven't felt that sort of energy of where I'm just constantly feeling like the harshness of life,
the weight of the world
like every day as I'm like going about, you know, just
it's easy to get hardened. And you know, when we're teens, early 20s, we can't really conceive that life would harden us. Even if we had trauma and challenged upbringing, we still have so much lightness and like bright-eyed and fluffy-tailed whimsy and curiosity to us, that is like, even the things that are tough, they don't burden us the way they do the longer you're on this planet. But it's like, unharden yourself, transform yourself, you know, like the caterpillar is slow and heavy and moving around the earth, and you know, and then it transforms, but it has to destroy its old self in order
Right.
to become its new self.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, don't be afraid of the destruction of your old self.
Mm-hmm. That could be a whole topic in itself.
That could be a whole topic of itself. Don't be afraid to destroy. Don't be afraid to hit the destruction, self-destruct button every now and then. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's necessary. But yeah, I think these conversations are important to have. A lot of times I feel caught up because I'm like, I have so many ideas and so many thoughts and so many feelings and so much experience and so much wisdom in life that I'm just like, it feels too vast to try to put it into a container and share it with the world. But let it be messy, you know? Let it be messy, because there's beauty in that. There's beauty in just, again, valuing the human experience. And it's like, we all have something in us that is so beautiful that regardless of how it comes out of us, it will impact others. So even for myself, I'm having to like unharden myself and allow it to just flow again. So I think starting these dialogues, starting these conversations, putting this back into the ether is me choosing the path, choosing the beauty way, choosing life, right? Instead of choosing a dying system.
Yeah.
So however it looks or however it comes across to you, share yourself, because you're going to call in those who wish to share you with you. Yeah, but you know, if you need more inspiration in igniting the human in you, igniting the soul spark within you, or just more astrological and somatic insights, you can definitely follow along for the journey. You can find all those links below if you want to connect for more of a one-on-one experience. I do offer astrological and somatic sessions. And yeah, if you just want a little love and guidance on your path, I'm always here for you.